50-year-old Randall Gary lived in Toronto, Ontario, and in 2003 he decided to take an Alaskan cruise. The cruise required that he fly into Vancouver, BC to connect with the Holland America ship MS Veendam. The cruise departed from Vancouver on May 9th and would return on May 18th, 2003. Randall was a divorced, middle-aged man with a 26-year-old daughter. His life hit a bit of a mediocre spell, and he decided to start a new career as a psychotherapist. Of course, that required that he go back to school, but he was definitely up for the challenge. Randall was tired of working in the restaurant business, so he threw himself wholeheartedly into his education. After graduation in 2003, he established a business called Quick Fix in Toronto. He wanted to push it hard and to get a good start by purchasing 100 spots for advertisements on a Toronto radio station. But before his new career started, he flew off for his dream Alaskan cruise. He told his friends that he hoped to meet a woman on the ship. The day came and he boarded the ship, and he began to meet several fellow passengers and excitedly shared with them that it was his lifelong dream to cruise to Alaska. Yet when the ship docked in Juneau, he remained on board, which caused the fellow passengers to scratch their heads. The ship left port and made its way to Ketchikan. While in port, Randall disembarked and made his way to a souvenir shop and purchased 13 Alaskan postcards, signing each with only a hastily scribbled "Love Randy," and mailed them off to various friends and family, and he went back to the ship without sightseeing. That evening, while still docked in Ketchikan, he rushed last minute off of the MS Veendam, and 9 minutes later he returned to the ship. On Friday, May 16th, the ship made its way back to Vancouver. All day Saturday was spent at sea. Sunday morning, May 18th, the ship arrived back. During the cruise, Randall spent most of his evenings at the ship's casino, often sleeping in the next day. He also made a point of keeping the stewards out of his cabin. He also kept his "Do Not Disturb" sign displayed at all times on his door, which is something that I do all the time. I really value my privacy, and I don't like maids cleaning my room either. I clean my own room, and they are usually pretty good and respect that. One time after Randall returned to his cabin, he found a steward cleaning. Randall sternly told him to get out. The steward made a point of telling his supervisor about this because he felt he was impeding his job. On the evening of May 16th, after leaving Ketchikan, Randall ate dinner and then spent the rest of the evening in the casino. On Sunday, May 18th, he was to disembark in Vancouver because the 7-day cruise was over. He was supposed to settle his bill for $147 at the customer service desk on board. They waited and he never showed up. A crew member went to his cabin and found the "Do Not Disturb" sign still hanging on the door. After entering the cabin, the bed appeared to have been laid on, but not slept in. The cabin did not have a balcony, and there was just a sealed window facing outside. All of Randall's possessions were found inside the room, including his passport, his credit card, his cash, his driver's license, and even the key card to the cabin. He was a diabetic, and his insulin was left behind in the room as well. And they also found his blood sugar log, with the last entry being on May 15th, while the ship was still in Ketchikan. Then they discovered a box of Viagra with one of the pills missing. There were bottles of alcohol in the room as well, a high-priced bottle of champagne that had been emptied, and a bottle of wine half full, and a bottle of rye half full. And something very odd was realized. There were no drinking glasses. The ship was then searched thoroughly, and no other traces of Randall were found. No one that was close to him believed that he was suicidal, because he had been so excited about beginning his new career. They believed that if he wanted to kill himself, he would just have taken a large dose of insulin for a more peaceful death and not to jump into the frigid Pacific Ocean. His family was suspicious because Randall did not like champagne, and he was allergic to rye, so they believe someone was with him before he vanished. The investigators are unsure as to whether it was Friday, Saturday, or Sunday when he vanished. They guess maybe it happened on Friday night after he went to the casino. 3 passengers on the cruise say that they did see him on Saturday. One woman even said that they saw him at the elevator and even spoke with him while waiting for the elevator. Another passenger spoke out and said that they saw him at afternoon tea talking with a blonde woman. Then an elderly man said he saw Randall outside of his cabin. It appeared that 2 women were leaving the room, and he had his arm around one of the women. She was described as being in her 30s with shoulder-length blonde hair. These women have never been identified. Investigators are unsure of the reliability of the witnesses. They went on to say that people tend to lose track of time and days while cruising, and that the encounter could have happened on Friday. On Saturday evening, a steward entered Randall's room. He did a quick cleanup. This could explain where the drinking glasses went, but why did he leave the empty champagne bottle behind? Now, it is possible that all of the alcohol was drank after the steward left the room. The group may have taken the glasses with them when they left the cabin. Randall's family was not satisfied with the response Holland America and the Vancouver Police gave them. The security footage of Randall in the casino was not saved on Friday night after leaving Ketchikan. The Vancouver Police concluded that he was not a victim of foul play. The family believes that at least one person on the ship knows exactly what happened. Then, an interesting plot twist occurred that left the family and investigators scratching their heads and wondering if maybe Randall chose to disappear. A friend spoke out and stated that he spoke about his fantasy of leaving his family behind and starting all over. Then family found out that Randall had actually won a lottery in 2001 and kept it a secret from everyone, including his daughter. He won over $150,000. The value of $150,000 from 2001 to 2024 is equal to the purchasing power of about $260,000 today. One lead investigator found it strange that he left the MS Veendam for 9 minutes, risking missing the ship's departure. There was a payphone nearby, and the investigator wondered if maybe he made a call to someone. Randall also mentioned to several people that he had a desire to move to Arizona. He also made several trips to Arizona in 2001, around the same time he won the lottery. There has been zero contact with friends and family since his disappearance. It has been 20 years since Randall vanished. If he were alive today, he would be 70 years old. Randall was 6 feet tall and weighed 200 pounds. He is a Caucasian with brown hair and brown eyes. He may be wearing a medical alert bracelet for diabetes. If you have any information about Randall Paul Gary's case, please call the Vancouver Police Department at 604-717-3321 and quote case number 03-118124. As a side note, I just wanted you to know that YouTube did re-monetize my channel. I'm very happy about that. It kind of gives it a validity. I'm glad that I did decide. It was actually my husband that talked me into appealing it. I just want to thank all my followers and all my new followers for tuning in today and listening to my videos. And if you could please share them, and so that these cases remain, I don't want to say alive, but I want to say remain in the public's eye, because there's just so many missing people in BC, and they need to be found. The information needs to get out there. Thanks.